Let's do 5 things to know in the ACC. I want to start with this. Duke might have lost Cooper Flag and Con Knipple and Kamo Malawach, but they are absolutely 100% going to be back this year. They added a guy by the name of Dami Sarr. They added a guy by the name of Caden Boozer. I expect Isaiah Evans to take a big step forward this year. Malik Brown should be healthy. Caleb Foster should take a step forward. They love the Nick Kamenia kid. And T.O., they got
Hamenya. Hamenya.
Kamenia, whatever his name is.
Hamenya. Hamenya.
Hamenya.
Hamenya.
But the star of the show is going to be a young man by the name of Cameron Boozer, Carlos Boozer's son, the taller of the two twins that are going to be enrolling at Duke, and a guy that has simply put won and produced at a ridiculous level everywhere that he's been coming through the prep ranks. T.O., what can Duke fans expect to see out of Cam Boozer? And am I right to be as excited about this team and this program this year as I am?
You know what? Yeah, absolutely. You're right to be excited about it. I think, I've done this before, but Cam Boozer's a more athletic version of Kevin Love in college. Kevin Love was awesome at UCLA. People don't remember that. Now people just, especially a lot of recent fans are looking at Kevin Love like he's a piece. He comes in, he rebounds, he makes an outlet pass. Dude, when he was young, man, and when he was at UCLA in the first 5 or 6 years of his NBA career, like he was a dude. Cam Boozer is a dude. He makes those same outlet passes. He starts the break as well as anybody. He's improved his long-range shooting. That's the thing that's coming out of camp more than anything else, his ability to knock down shots. But it's not just Cam. I think Isaiah Evans will average 20 points. I think because he's one-track minded, he's going to figure out ways to do that. People are worried about their point guard play. I'm not as. I think Caden Boozer's good. Now, is he this all-world athlete and dunking on people like guys they've had before? No. But when you have all those guys everywhere else, you just need somebody to get the ball across the floor. He's a terrific passer. He just wins, and whoever Cam's been making these outlet passes to, it's been to Caden. So Caden's making a lot of these reads, and they're going to push the ball and make smart decisions. I'm just this team, this lineup. Patrick Gungba coming back, he's going to be able to play the 5 with Cam Boozer at the 4. They're going to be huge at times, and some of these defensive lineups that Duke has, really, really good. Dame Sarr is interesting. Interesting. I mean, interesting enough to where last season he was called up to Barcelona's top team, and that doesn't just happen for young players. So, a really interesting group of kids. Sebastian Wilkins is a beast. He's an athlete, but Hamenya is going to be able to hit shots, and then we'll kind of see how it all falls into place. But when you look at their top 10 guys, and I'm a big fan of Darren Harris, and he's the 10th one. It's man, my gosh, this is a good team.
Yeah. Really good team, a team that can absolutely make it to Indianapolis. And you just wonder, I think you have to start when you talk about Duke to talk about Jon Scheyer and the job that he has done, and this is the unfair reality of our world, but how last year ended. That is a huge storyline to him and to Duke as a program. Their expectations are to win national championships. And they've got a team that, if all the pieces come together, here's the good news about John and Duke.
2-year extension.
Yeah, he just got extended. Well,
what a way to celebrate Yom Kippur.
Yeah, very, very nice. No question.
Good for him.
Very, very nice. Look, I think what's great, what you can easily tell is that Jon Scheyer could be the Duke coach for 30 years.
Yes, and that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Health provided.
Absolutely. But that validation factor, he's done it in the recruiting ranks. He's kept Duke, if not accelerated Duke there. But I think that the key for this team, it all comes down to guard play. I know you're not as concerned, but they still have to prove it. And this now is Caleb Foster's time to show what he's capable of on a game-by-game basis. Isaiah Evans, 20 points per game, that's certainly... If that happens, that's really remarkable. I mean, that's a big proclamation. I hope that it happens. And Caden Boozer, I agree with you. I think he's undervalued, underrated because of who his brother is. But he's a smart player who, when he gets on the floor, I think will make the right reads and will be fun to watch and be an energizer bunny of sorts. I think the most interesting player on the team is actually not Cameron Boozer. I agree with you. I don't know if you were saying this, but I think the most interesting player on Duke is Dame Sarr.
Yeah.
Because here's a guy who you have professional experience already. At the Nike Hoop Summit, you starred. You were on Team World, and he played really well in that game in the 25 minutes he played against Cameron and Caden Boozer. And his physique for someone his age is special. And when you can get involved with Barcelona and have that experience, I don't care how many minutes you're playing per game. He shot 52% and he shot 43% from three. He has shown the capabilities to knock down the jumper. I think he's got a loaded set of skills, and I think Duke has multiple game changers. It would appear that Duke has multiple game changers. Now, the key is Tyrese Proctor, right? And how am I blanking on the name? Who was the other guard last year? Tulane transfer.
Sion James.
Tyrese Proctor and Sion James supplied so much experience, stability, all those things for Duke last year. That's the difference with this backcourt. This backcourt this year doesn't have a Sion James walking through that door. At least at surface level, they don't. So this backcourt has to have things. It could be a little bit more of a process, right? Like this team is not going to be in March who they are in November. Whereas if you watch Duke last year, from December on, they dominated. They were as good as any team in the country. I think this season arc's going to be different, don't you think? A little bit, Rob.
Man, I think
they're not going to be as good as last year. There is no way that they're as dominant of a team. They're going to lose ACC games.
Yeah, well, I mean, my take
I think
is
that has to do with the ACC in general. But I agree.
Yeah, but if you think that this Duke team is as good as last year, come on, man.
I don't. And my hot take is that last year's Duke was actually the best team that we've seen in like the last decade in college basketball.
And I couldn't disagree with you more on that.
I think that they are up there with the 2024 UConn, 2018 Villanova, 2009 North Carolina. Like, I think that they were that good. They just gave it away at the worst possible time and cost themselves a chance to be able to have that legacy. I don't think this Duke team is going to be that good, but I certainly think this Duke team can win a national championship, right? Like, they are once again built in the mold of a professional roster. Their smallest guy on the roster is Caden Boozer, who's like 6'4", 220, right? Like, Isaiah Evans is 6'6". Dame Sarr is 6'7", 6'8". Cam Boozer's 6'9". Malik Brown's going to play some 5 at 6'9". And Gongba's 6'11". Khaminya is 6'8". Darren Harris is 6'6". Caleb Foster is 6'5".
You just took off and ran with Khaminya.
Yeah, I know. I love it now. It's not my favorite name in college.
They got
basketball.
great length. The roster build's excellent. By the way,
they're going to switch everything, and they got and just real quick, like they have playmakers all over the floor. Like, they don't have to have a point guard, but they have 3 different guys that can be point guards. They have 2 different guys who can go out and win them a game all by themselves just by scoring, and Cam Boozer and Isaiah Evans. Like, this team is going to be fantastic. And my hottest take is that they're not even going to be the best team in the ACC this year. So we'll get to that in a second. But go ahead, finish your point on Duke, Fanta.
There's a difference between being the best team in the last decade and up there.
Mm-hmm.
They're up there. The past year's team was up there. But you're not the best of the last decade, because that to me belongs to Connecticut.
Yeah, because you have to win it. You have to win it, right?
You have to be able to win it. So I want to clarify that, because Duke fans are probably going to go crazy at me. I think that last year's Duke team was right up there among the most talented teams we've seen of the last decade, if not the last quarter century. I think this Duke team is going to be really good. I think last year's team had a luxury of riches, both young and old. Now, this year, some of the older guys have yet to fully be in the big-time role. That's kind of the unanswered question. But let's see if these guys can perform. If they get great guard play, they could win the national championship.